Hello and welcome to Elizabeth's Craft Room. Today I'm going to show you a tiny weeny little project. It's only 1 3/8 inch square, and this is a challenge that's been set by my upline Amanda to her first level team to do a little swap with these tiny weeny little creations. This is the one that I'm going to give out and to make 20 of to share with my fellow demonstrators. And they make a really nice little topper for a card or a project. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I've made this one. Okay, so the rules of it are that you can start with either the 1 3/8 square punch, or, she says, reaching for it quickly because it's in the old style, so it's a different place in my craft room, the scallop square punch, but I've decided to go for the 1 3/8. So I'm going to start out off by punching this in pink pirouette cardstock, and I'm going to punch another layer with the 1 inch square punch as well. Okay, so we need 2 pieces there. Right, the middle layer is done with the postage stamp punch. I'll give a little grease around there. And what I'm going to do with the 2 largest layers here is just to ink them up with a little soft suede ink. And I'm not even adding any extra to my sponge. I just want it to be very little. So it's just what's already on there. So it just gives a slightly vintagey look to it. Right, the next layer I'm going to do is my stamping. I'm using on this project the Collage Curios, absolutely ideal for such a little project because you've got all these tiny little images. I'm going to use the rose, the background, and the kind of little wreath circle here. So I'm going to stamp the wreath piece in soft suede, and then I'm going to stamp the background in crumb cake, which is the sort of text background, and then I'm going to take the little rose image and I'm going to ink that up with Pretty in Pink, and then I'm going to take a marker, big end of the marker, and just colour in the petals, the leaves and the stem of that rose, and this is with Wild Wasabi. One of Amanda's other instructions was this had to be in soft subtles and neutrals, and we were going for a spring theme. So there you go, so there's that little rose. So I'm going to punch the wreath piece out with a 1 inch circle punch, and I'm going to punch the text and the little rose out with a 3/4 inch circle. And for the rose, I'm going to first of all go round in Pretty in Pink with a dauber, and then that little bit of soft suede just to take the bright pinkness off and make it just subtle. I don't know how well you can see that, and then with this one just with the suede. Okay, so we're assembling our elements here. The next thing you'll probably notice on here is the lovely little rose, and you've probably seen this, but if you haven't, it's gorgeous. This is our flower trim. It comes with a netting on the back and you get 100 little flowers. So I'm going to cut off one of those. You can use it in a row or you can use them individually. And I'm going to colour it because I wanted a little bit of pink. Easiest way to do that is to lay it face down in an ink pad, and then using a dauber just tap it. Now how pink you want this is entirely up to you. I just want a little hint of pink. I don't want this to be completely coloured. So I'm going to stop at that point. But you could go on and have it a much darker, a much stronger colour if you like. So I'm just going to leave that to one side for a moment. And finally, I'm going to do, can you see this tiny weeny little butterfly? Now there's no getting around this. This absolutely has to be hand cut. We do not have a punch that small. We do have little punches, but that one's really tiny. So I'm going to stamp that in pretty in pink. And then I'm going to take my scissors and go ahead and cut that out. Now, I'm not worrying too much about accuracy. It is really tiny. I'd probably go a little bit slower if I wasn't doing it on the video. Take a little bit of that white off there. And then once again, I'm going in with that dauber to make it a little bit more antique-y looking. And then we'll start putting this together. So the first layer is the green one, and I'm just going to put Tombow on to layer that one on first. And the second layer is the little pink one, and that's the 1-inch square. Now I didn't actually daub this. I just wanted the brightness of the pink to come through on that one because you can only see a little bit of it around the edge. Then I'm going to use a dimensional, and I'm going to pop up my next layer, and Tombow again for my little rose image, and then you can just see the outer piece of that that edge. Then I'm going to use glue dots, which I have here, and for my rose I'm just going to press that on. And you can also attach these with dimensionals depending on how much you want to pop them up. And definitely the only thing to stick this little butterfly down is a glue dot. So I'm going to press that on and lift it up, and I'm just going to squeeze in the edges so there's no glue dot showing because it is so tiny, and I'm going to pop that on there. And then my final thing is go in and put some little antennae for my butterfly. And that's my project finished. So I hope you liked today's project. Come back soon to Elizabeth's Craft Room for more.